Let's move on and focus on DB Corp. The stock surged in trade after reporting its fourth quarter earnings a while ago. Margins expanded and revenues grew 16% on a YOY basis. The advertising revenue led to this growth this time, grew by 24.6%. To discuss this and more, we have Girish Agarwaal, the promoter, director of the company, joining us now. Mr. Agarwaal, good afternoon. Always a pleasure speaking with you. And last couple of quarters have been stellar in terms of earnings. Tell us what the outlook is going to be like. Is this a sustainable rate of growth that you're going with in FY25 as well? What's the target for revenue and margins?
I love this approach of journalists that you don't even let a person feel happy for a minute about the laurels and we talk about the future. So let me stick to the past.
I think the stock markets love future guidance and future numbers. I think that's what we are trying to achieve.
See, this year we have achieved the ever highest EBITDA, for the company at 703 crores and a PAT of almost 425 crores. But we have to also be cognizant of the fact that last year was the election year, where a lot of spending done by the government in the market and the disposable income of individuals increased. So that also resulted in the higher advertising from the private sector, as well as the government advertising was on a peak. But looking forward, I think the Lok Sabha result should be out in next 15 days' time. And the positivity what we see in the market, I think next year is going to be another stellar year for us also.
Sir, when you spoke about advertising revenue, we understand that there was a significant component that came in from the election spending. Now, going into FY25, we believe that, like you just mentioned, that could taper off a little bit. Could you quantify the kind of advertising growth that you're expecting to see in FY25?
So we believe that the categories like real estate, automobile, jewelry, lifestyle, that will continue to grow. Only the government, which has seen the substantial growth this year because of election, that may go down. So I think overall number should be still in a strong single digit or touching double digit also.
Okay, strong single digit or double digit as well. What about margins, Mr. Agarwaal? We've seen newsprint paper prices go down. You've spoken about cost initiatives as well that you've taken. Will it continue to be in the same range that you've seen in FY24?
See, the newsprint price last year was 60,000 rupees a ton, which has come down to 49,500 rupees a ton. And as we speak, looks like that the next quarter, the prices may go down by another further 4 to 5%. Now, going forward, frankly speaking, this is a commodity market. We don't know what will happen. But even if the price stays at this level, there's a huge saving going forward for us.
Okay. Give us a sense of the current circulation that you enjoy. What is the outlook for growth that you're expecting in FY25? We understand that this year, again, it could have been slightly higher due to the election.
Circulation has been maintained over the number. And I think our focus is there that we need to increase the circulation by at least 3 to 4% this year. And all efforts are on that.
Okay. I wanted to understand the split in terms of your end user, the advertisers, apologies. Government, the last time we spoke, was around 20% in terms of the ad spends. Considering FY25, how dynamics will change here, which do you think will be the biggest contributor in terms of ad spends? What is the split currently?
See, government generally, if you look at the average, it stays in the range of around 13 to 15% of advertising. This year, because of election, it certainly went up much higher. So next year, I would assume they would come back to the same number of around 14-15% of our total revenue. And the second biggest category after that is education and real estate for us. And these two categories are further going strong. So we believe the momentum will continue, should continue.
So you expect momentum to continue, and on this elevated base, you're expecting high single digit to maybe a low double digit. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that's what we are going to work hard this year for.
Okay, sir. So now we are coming to the digital business. What is the revenue run rate that you've managed to achieve over here? Has it broken even? And do you have any plans of value unlocking in this particular segment?
Digital is doing very good. We have around 15 million monthly active users. These guys spend almost 15 minutes with us. And we are very happy with the response, especially with the kind of traction we have got with the earlier state elections and now Lok Sabha elections. So digital is doing very good. And we are very positive and confident of the way forward on that.
Digital is actually the buzzword now. So will there be more spends? Will the cost items have more spends toward digital in your P&L? What is the strategy in terms of user addition? And at what level do you think you will be able to monetize this particular opportunity?
To be very honest, digital doesn't need much of money. because we already have the huge journalist network, like 3,500 journalists are working with us. They contribute for print as well as for the digital also. The extra cost is only a technology cost. So that's not something earth-shattering. So whatever is required there, we are doing it.
Okay. Going into FY25, you did mention that, since newsprint prices are essentially a commodity cost, maybe you wouldn't be able to gauge the exact trajectory of the prices there. But what is it internally that you're targeting, number one, in terms of revenue for FY25, the EBITDA margins, and the bottom line?
You are talking to a Marwari organization. Certainly, we are looking at much reduction in cost and much high growth in the revenue. That's our internal working. But it has to spend in the market, so nobody can really comment on that.
Mr. Agarwal, I get that sentiment. You're also talking to a Marwari journalist. That's why it's imperative for me to ask you again, what kind of growth targets do you have? While you have said that it'll be in high single digits or low double digits, can you give us a sense of the digital business again? Because that is the, the buzzword, as I said earlier. At what level do you think you will monetize it? Is there any plan in that direction? Because that is something that the street and the investors definitely want to know.
So in our business, we say there's a buzzword and which is the actual word. The actual word is print, which is growing, giving it the number. Out of this 703 crore rupees, the largest chunk, I would say more than 90%, 95% belongs to print. Digital is in a very nascent stage. We are getting more numbers, more people enjoying us on the digital. And monetization is some time ahead still, and much to be desired, to be very honest.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Agarwal, and giving us all those details. So that's the word coming in from DB Corp. FY24 ended on a strong note. They expect the momentum to continue in FY25 as well, despite the election significance going away in that financial year. But we'll slip into a short break. When we return, we'll be joined by the management of NIIT Learning Systems to discuss the Q4 numbers. Stay tuned for that.